Good morning. Good morning, good morning. The Monday before Christmas. What a weird week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is going to be a tough one for a lot of people. You got today and tomorrow. Then you got Christmas Eve, Christmas. You got to go back to work maybe one day. And then you do it all over again next week. Are you guys working the next couple of weeks? Or are you taking it off? Kind of still trying to figure that out. Coming up on the show today, we got a good one. Dr. Chris Green's going to join us and fill us in on longevity. That's kind of a big topic when we're coming to, the start of the new year, right? I mean, it's time to start looking towards things that we can do better than we did this year, and whether or not it's going to the gym for 45 minutes once and calling it a day. Who knows? Whatever your New Year's resolution is, I know that if you're me, health is on it, and Dr. Chris Green's going to fill us in on that. Then at 10:10, Keith Short's in one last time this year. Going to be taking us through his Legal Eagle Spotlight and or Legal Spotlight. Legal Eagle's a different show. He'll be giving us his Legal Spotlight on just really how a lawsuit works, from start to finish, and really just kind of breaking it down in the most simple way possible. So a good last live show starting tomorrow. We're going to be going on best of mode until January the 2nd, I believe, and just going to be replaying some of these conversations. So get your last dose of this show live while you can. And in the meantime, we are going to have some live conversations on the 26th, the 30th, just to get some programming notes out of the way. On the 26th, going to be talking to Grafton. On the 30th, going to be talking to Great Rivers and Routes. And like I said, not the 2nd. We're coming back January the 5th with live shows. So this is it. Last live show of the year. Let's make it a good one until we go into best of and highlight mode. Top of the hour news now. Make sure you download that RiverBender.com app today. You'll never miss out. You can join myself and 70,000, 80,000 plus that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. And you can always stay up to date real time by downloading that app and that daily email update too. We'll take you right into just a statewide news update for you first. In December, Illinois Treasurer Michael Frerichs has returned $100,000 in missing money to food pantries across the state through the iCash program. The effort targets nonprofits that faced increased demand after the federal government shutdown in November. Frerichs highlighted the critical role food pantries play, especially during those challenging times. One beneficiary, 4 kids, in Bolingbrook received $5,500 to help replace stolen catalytic converters from their donation trucks. The Treasurer's Office has returned $2.5 billion in unclaimed property since Frerichs took office, 18,000 statewide. You can see a full recap at RiverBender.com. Over the weekend, we did get this news update for you out of Granite City. DJ Marshall, 26, has been indicted by a Madison County grand jury on multiple felony charges for the alleged shooting of Granite City police officer Tyler Timmons on December the 5th. Marshall does face 4 counts, including attempted first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and possession of a firearm by a repeat felony offender. Officer Timmons was struck in the abdomen and hospitalized for a week, but has since been released and is recovering. The indictment states Marshall fired multiple shots at the officer during his official duties and was in illegal possession of a firearm despite prior felony convictions. Sentences for these charges could range from 15 to 80 years. The investigation is ongoing. We will keep you updated when more details on this case do roll out. Also in the news today, Dwayne Young, 42, of Bunker Hill, charged with aggravated reckless driving and driving with his license being suspended following an incident on September the 18th. This is just being reported out of Warden. Young allegedly ignored road signs on Weissman, failed to slow down, and struck a backhoe when which then injured a road worker, resulting in a broken ankle. The charges do include a Class 4 felony for reckless driving and a Class A misdemeanor for driving with a suspended license. Young was released pending trial, and authorities remind anyone that all accused are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today, the Jersey Community Unit School District Number 100 Board of Education has announced that Dr. Jason Bruno has been named the district's new superintendent of schools effective July 1st, 2027. Dr. Bruno will take over from Brad Tuttle, who is retiring on June 30th, 2027. A proud alumnus of Jersey Community Unit School District Number 100, Dr. Bruno brings 25 years of experience dedicated to the community's students and families. His career began as a teacher and digital coach that followed by leadership roles of principal as both the middle school and high school, and most recently as the Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Human Resource. The next 18 months will serve as a transition period to ensure smooth leadership and continuity throughout the district. We'll keep you updated as that transition keeps going. And finally in the news today, in positive news, Noel Gray has been named Student of the Month at Southwestern High School with ambitious future plans. This is part of our Student Spotlight series. Noel Gray, as junior at Southwestern High School, has been recognized as Student of the Month for her dedication and hard work. A committed member of the track and field team since her freshman year, Gray balances athletics with active participation in the art and Spanish clubs alongside maintaining a part-time job and babysitting for family friends. She manages her responsibilities with ease. In her free time, she enjoys reading, shopping, and spending time with friends, and currently is finalizing plans to join the military. Gray is considering the Navy or Army National Guard. Her teachers and loved ones eagerly anticipate her future success, and congratulations on being recognized as a Southwestern High School Student of the Month in our Student Spotlight series. You can see those at RiverBender.com in the news category under Student Spotlight. At 9:10, it's 37 degrees in downtown Alton, and it feels like it out there. Now, here's the good news until there's some bad news. Well, the good news is the next 5 days look great. Let's just talk about those first. Today, temperatures reach 50 degrees and drop down to 40. There's nothing else to report other than that, just clouds and sun throughout the day. On Tuesday, a high of 59, a low of 42 degrees, and then on Wednesday, a high of 63, a low of 54 as we spend our Christmas Eve with our loved ones or by ourselves, whichever you prefer. On Christmas Day, we see temperatures hit 72 degrees. That could actually break an over 100-year-old record, and a low of 55 as we head into Friday. On Friday, a high of 71, a low of 49, and that's a look at your next 5 days. Now, after that, it could get a little interesting. There's some radar maps coming in that could show some rain, could show some snow, could show some ice, but we'll stay tuned with it all. And you can stay tuned also at RiverBender.com/weather. Right now, the air quality is at 55, which is moderate. Mold is low at 100. And like I said, really nothing to report other than just the temperatures reaching right around 50 degrees today and dropping down to 41 as we head into Tuesday, which is my parents' anniversary. That's a look at your next 5 days and a look at weather for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545, this time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. Hey, while I have you guys finished your Christmas shopping yet? I mean, we did over the weekend, and, we got it all done. Man, that was like going through a war. I tell myself every year, I'm just not going to do this. Jackie and I just had this conversation. We said we're going to start early. That way we don't have to stress about it because we love the holidays. It's just, trying to plan it all, and you got a baby, and you know how that goes. Well, we'll see if I stay true to my plan and our plan this year for starting in March. My point is, if you're like us and you're a little bit behind, hey, there's a lot of still great options out there, and it necessarily doesn't have to be one where you're checking your Amazon app or whatever the hell you use, just kind of anxiously waiting to see if your package is going to be shipped before Santa gets here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, stop by XO. They got you covered. Whether or not you're going for your loved one or you're going for your, child, you name it. Even great work gift, too. Great Rob Your Neighbor gift is an XO gift card. Here's why. I mean, they got the nail bar services. We all know about those. I mean, we're talking about manicures, pedicures, but they have some really good dips, some acrylics, some gels. I'm starting to learn more about that because Actually, Jackie goes up to XO and gets her nails done. But they also have this thing called an IV drip. I mean, you've been feeling kind of sluggish. Maybe you've been just really kind of dehydrated. Maybe you've been down and out, depressed. There's something for everybody when it comes to an IV drip. These are things that a lot of people are starting to use with some great benefits. You can check it out at XO. But also on the med spa side of things, your traditional med spa services, Botox fillers, IV therapy. There's also laser hair removal, weight loss, hormone replacement. There's facials, but also they do free consultations. So you aren't walking in there, if you're like me who knows nothing about it and you're going, man, let's hope I get the right thing. No, they got experts in there. They're going to take care of you every step of the way. But I'm talking about all this stuff because to me, this screams gift card material. This screams a great Christmas gift material. Pop in there, grab a $50, grab a $100. Oh, and then actually add a little bit on to that because while they're there, you can have some food with a Michelin star chef who's preparing the best food in town. I'm telling you what, you can't go wrong at XO. Stop by 157 Center Court Drive in Edwardsville, or you can just go to XO.com. That's visitxo.com. And click on the RiverBender.com wallpaper today. Don't forget about the holiday pop-up at XO as well with some of the scenes inspired by America's most beloved TV shows and have some really good photo opportunities. You can see more at XO and visitxo.com. Don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over there. Wait, no, seriously, great Christmas gift, though. Like, live read aside, you guys really, if you're last-minute shoppers like me, no better time to go ahead and get that done. Hey, great show coming up on this Monday. Going to be talking to Dr. Chris Green in a couple of minutes. You guys stay there, and I'll be here, RiverBender.com, Roku TV. It's our daily show. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Oh, Christmas week, 9/18. Last time we talked with Dr. Green, it was really fascinating because we really learned all about this new way that we're bringing healthcare to ourselves. You guys know what I'm talking about here, and if you missed it, RiverBender.com/daily show. A lot of good reviews on it, and Dr. Green joins us now. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, and great to have you back. How is Christmas looking for you before we get into business?
Christmas is looking good, and I think I'm all ready, which is a good feeling considering some past poor performances.
We almost had a poor performance myself. We barely skated by this weekend, but we're in the clear. We took the breath. The wrapping paper's put away, and no one's gonna have any hurt feelings. We're good to go, Dr. Green. You know what I'm saying?
Rock and roll.
Well, and yeah. I think it's really important, just to circle back, our first conversation was great. And a lot of people were talking about just really this new model and really bringing it into the Riverbend region. And, since then, how's everything still been going, with everything else at the group and with this new way you're revitalizing healthcare and really making it, all encompassing? How's that program been?
Well, the group is doing well since you asked about it. And the program continues to grow. I'm excited about a lot of success stories we've had. And it's been energizing for me just to, in some ways, this takes me back to, the books and my podcast and studying and learning how to provide the best primary care or preventive care and active management of disease processes.
Absolutely. And, one of the words, as we get into this conversation, Dr. Green, that I've been hearing a lot lately is longevity, and really that key word for, I guess, as we get older and even right now, what's our life going to look like? What's mine going to look like in 30, 40 years? Am I setting myself up for success? And, when we talk about longevity, when you do with your patients, has that become a conversation that's become more and more prominent just because it seems like we're all becoming more focused on at least a little bit more of our lifestyles and our health?
Actually, I think longevity is one of the major themes, even if we don't talk about it directly. It's in the background, it's in the undercurrent of everything that we're talking about, because if we achieve healthy longevity, then I have to presume that we've met the goals of the patients. I don't think it's just about living longer. I think it's about living better, higher quality of life, and particularly people want to remain well, but they also want to remain independent.
Yeah.
And I think when we take the long view, so many of our senior patients may have not been able to take advantage of the current technological gains that we have in terms of things that turn into longevity, in terms of the management of cardiovascular disease, in terms of screening for early cancer. But there's a lot of lifestyle that goes into this, and I really think that's where physicians, the medical system, and frankly, patients and society as a whole, we're not doing basic things that translate into good health and longevity from a preventive standpoint.
Well,
and so we try to get into that with this, and the advantage here with the enhanced wellness program, since all of those visits are twice as long as our standard visits, that extra time gives me the chance to really dive into those issues.
Well, and that's where I think this is so important, and it ties both of those together. And, when we look more into this, is longevity, really for you about living longer, or is it just living better, as we age in our traditional lifespan? Just to kind of dive into that topic a little bit more, because I know you touched on that, but really, is it a course of, can I live to be 99 years old, or if I live to 85, do I have the best 85 years possible?
I think it's a combination of the two.
Okay.
I don't think people want to live to be 100 and be sick or be dependent for those last 30 years. That's no fun. I really think people are looking for active lives, and we have more than a handful of patients who are what I refer to as my super seniors, patients in their 80s and 90s who are still living alone, managing their own finances, taking care of transportation, going on vacations, heading down to SSP to work out 3 or 4 times a week.
Yep.
And frankly, there are people who are just lucky. There are genetic differences in terms of the way we age that are kind of hard to get around. But in terms of a lot of the chronic health conditions, particularly the ones that lead to disability, let's say strokes, osteoporosis, chronic obstructive lung disease, that really leave people in a bad place for a long time, even decades. A lot of those things are preventable if you make appropriate changes in lifestyle and take advantage of some of the things that we have to offer and do it early rather than waiting until something is ringing your bell.
And being proactive instead of reactive, like we talked about in that first segment, it just goes right back to it.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Well, and as we start to look in this a little bit more, let's start with the big component, and that's our brain, our brain health. And what habits do you recommend, and what habits help protect brain health and memory over time? Because I'm starting to see all these different things on TV and different studies that show this. But what's tried and true for you, Dr. Green? What habits really protect our brain and keep us healthy as possible?
Well, there's a huge amount of active research going into that right now. And we don't have all the answers. But I think that in terms of brain health, it's becoming clear that exercise
Wow.
has a big impact on brain health. And I'm talking about serious exercise. I'm not talking about walking the dog. Well, I have to say that because there's so many people who just
That's
think that's
true.
enough, and it's really not.
Well, that's true. That's so true.
And I'll come back to that in a minute. Two would be alcohol. And alcohol consumption definitely can have a negative impact on long-term chronic brain health. Three would be keeping your brain active and using it.
Gotcha.
There's some unfortunate and interesting data that suggests that people who really don't have much use for their brain during their adult life are much more likely to have Alzheimer's disease
Wow.
than those who use jobs that are employed in workplaces where the brain is a part of the factor rather than just being a simple type of repetitive activity. But that really comes back to what people do. And rather than wasting time watching TV, reading books is probably better, puzzles and games. And again, we come back to the exercise and what that entails in terms of using your brain to control your body, coordination, balance, strength. There's a huge amount of things there. But there will be more to come as we go along. There are some interesting things happening right now with some of these medical treatments, but that's not so much prevention.
Well, it's really just fascinating. And is it one of those things, doctor, where our brain is just like anything else? We have to exercise it, and we have to constantly use it, or we lose it.
Well, absolutely. There's a neuropsychology group out in San Francisco that's been looking at some brain exercises for people who might have early cognitive impairment. And what they've found is with certain focused exercises, you can see increased activity on metabolic brain scans. And also, unfortunately, they're showing that if you do Sudoku, you get really good at doing Sudoku, but it doesn't cross-pollinate to other brain activities.
Wow.
And we can say things about crossword puzzles and all that. So you have to have a blend, you have to have variety, and you have to use your brain really right up to the edge of your skill set to keep it healthy.
That's
Just like your muscles. You're going to lift the maximum weight that you can lift. You're going to run as far as you can run. With your brain, you have to do something that's cognitively stressful.
That's interesting. And it makes total sense too, whenever you break it down like that. And, when should we start focusing on our cognitive health? Should it be as young as, in our 20s to really start thinking about, hey, here's what we're doing to our bodies, or here's what we're inputting? Or should that conversation really start to be more serious as we get a little bit more into the middle part of our lives?
Well, that's a great question. And honestly, with all due respect to the teaching class, I really think that there are some things that the kids don't get in their health class to at least plant the seed of things that have an impact. Because, when you're 16 or 17 years old, you're going to live forever and you really don't care about this kind of stuff.
Right.
You take risks and you make a lot of stupid decisions. But I think even when you're 25, and I kind of thought about our talk today, and I kind of grouped my patients into 25-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and 75-year-olds. And I think those three groups have different needs. The 25-year-olds should be made aware of this. The 50-year-old should have an assignment of something to start doing. And we're playing catch up with our 75-year-olds right now, trying to get them to do something in that space, because it's hard to develop new habits and skills. And we're impatient as adults, with kids, you think, well, it took me 5 years to learn how to play the piano, but an adult who takes piano lessons wants to play in 6 months. It doesn't work that way. You can't look at it 10 minutes on Google and be an expert.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's where I just think it's really important. And I like that you group everyone into that, because it's always good to plant the bug. And you're right. If I would have known half the things, or even a tenth of what I know now about health in my health class, just generic one, it might have, planted the seed for something different. And, whenever it comes to, folks that maybe are experiencing chronic conditions and just, some of those issues that it can bring, why is managing our chronic conditions early so important for our long-term health? Because I know that sometimes, just from, people I know, that sometimes their chronic conditions aren't identified, or they don't go and get them diagnosed for a little bit of time, because, maybe it goes away, the symptoms, and they come back and they go back and forth. Where do you see that, and how important is it to tackle some of those things early?
Well, that's a great question. And I would say probably over the last 40 years, there's been a growing body of research and experience with treatment involving three chronic conditions: hypertension, diabetes, and elevated cholesterol levels.
Wow.
And what we're learning is that the damage that is done early oftentimes cannot be undone. You can catch these conditions when they're midway, but there's pretty solid data that the time that your body's been exposed to elevated glucose levels and diabetes, you might be able to stop the progression of certain disease processes, but the eyes and kidneys have already taken a beating. It's not reversible, and it might be harder to stop. If you had done something sooner, it would have made a difference. The same thing with high blood pressure. We're starting to realize that the stress of the blood pressure on the elastic structures in the cardiovascular system is irreversible. When those elastic fibers go, they do not heal, they do not come back. And that's why new blood pressure guidelines just last year suggested that our target blood pressure for everybody should be less than 130.
Wow.
That probably sounds radical to a lot of people, but the people who are the winners are the ones who make lifestyle adjustments and oftentimes take medication to keep their blood pressure in that zone so that they are not damaging irreversibly their cardiovascular system every single day. And actually, cardiovascular disease is the number one leading cause of mortality.
Wow.
And so right now in our office, we've done a lot of things to teach our nurse practitioners and try to inform our patients and do things to, say, get the blood pressure under control. And then cholesterol is the same thing. You got to get on it early to prevent the plaque formation. Once a plaque formation is there, you're treating a disease. Now you're already behind the ball. So that comes back to early detection and early treatment, and that needle is moving. And it's sometimes it's a struggle because people don't want to make the lifestyle modifications, or they don't want to take the medication that's been shown to make a difference. So that's where, again, in the enhanced wellness program, I have the time to really sit down and have these conversations, which you just can't squeeze into a 15-minute visit when
Right.
somebody's got 5 problems.
Well, and you know, sometimes it might just take, like you said, a little bit more an in-depth thing, because like you said, a lifestyle change for some people can be a big thing. And, you know, to really talk about those benefits and to talk about the different options, I think going back into your point with this program really does matter, because, you know, you can really get your hands on it and really have some deep thought to this.
I'm convinced that when we take the time to explain the why behind our
Yeah.
recommendations to the patients, that they're much more likely to follow through with following those targets rather than just writing a prescription and sending it through the e-prescribe to the pharmacy. I'm just convinced that when we have the chance to talk and explain and the backgrounding, that makes a huge difference in terms of compliance, and then the value is there.
Absolutely. And Dr. Green, as we keep our conversation rolling into the next couple of minutes here, you know, I'm sure weight loss is, and weight in general is always a bigger conversation, especially as we get older, whether it's, you know, we maybe need to lose a couple of pounds, or, you know, maybe we're getting older in life and we can't seem to keep on the weight, or there's an issue, you know, with that way. What have you seen, before we talk about just the impact of weight, just in the conversations with your patients? Have there been patients across the board that are looking to, you know, these quote unquote, you know, I don't want to say miracle drugs anymore, but like an Ozempic, or, you know, any type of weight loss drug, you know, no matter what their age range is? Or is there a conversation that's a little bit deeper than just a medication, that, you know, we still have to have some lifestyle changes with this too, if that makes sense?
I'm glad you asked me about that, because these drugs really are phenomenal. They make it much easier for patients to eat less, because they suppress the appetite in the brain and they slow gastric emptying so that your stomach fills up faster.
Oh,
The benefits include cardiovascular, diabetes, sleep apnea,
wow.
fatty liver disease, osteoarthritis, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out. Oh, cardiovascular and heart failure. So this has all been shown. So this is very helpful.
Yeah.
The problem that is that we deal with here, though, is that when you use these medications alone and you don't do anything else, you can lose weight, but you end up being what some people call skinny fat. We call it sarcopenic osteoporosis. Well, what that means is you lose muscle mass, your bones get weak, and you're not healthy when you come out of the chute. You might have gone from a size 14 to a size 8, and you might look better, but you're not healthier.
Wow.
And that's why these people need to understand that how important an appropriate meal plan and exercise plan is integral to staying healthy, not just losing weight for cosmetic reasons. And again, we get a lot of pushback there, but these things do work. They work well. They're going to be even better in 26, because President Trump brought the pharmaceutical companies in, Novo and Lilly, that make these drugs, and they made an agreement for I think it looks something like this. I hope I don't make a mistake here, but they're going to cost less for sure. I've seen the prices, and the pharmaceutical reps have already been in my office. So this is a real thing.
That's
It's
awesome.
not just chatter. I bumped into a couple of friends who thought it was just fluff. I said, no, the drug companies have been in my office. They've talked to me about this. It's happening. The prices are coming down, and Medicare is going to open the doors for more coverage indications. for Medicare patients. I don't know what private insurance is going to do yet, but usually they follow. So they're expecting a follow-up explosion of the use of these medications. Anything we do always has a potential for some side effects, but these things are generally safe.
Yeah.
I hope that this answers that question.
It
I
does.
didn't know if I covered everything.
Oh no, 1,000% does, and it's great that just to hear your insights on already having some reps in your office and hearing that, hey, this is coming to fruition as always.
This is the real thing.
Yeah,
it's the real thing. Yeah,
that's always really great.
That's been one of the frustrating things because these things are expensive. Frankly, I think they're unaffordable at a cash level. But they really do work, and they touch so many facets of that health model. They're a great aid to people who need to do that. I don't know. Well, I can tell you quickly, society has changed a lot in terms of how much we eat, serving sizes and stuff. It's really challenging with the amount of food that people are getting served and so this is one way to kind of, for lack of better wording, fight back against that overeating society.
1,000%. And, going into that too, how does weight impact longevity? I know it goes I'm sure hand in hand in some way, shape, or form. It's
interesting that you should ask that because, and I kind of go along with this. There's a lot of fitness and longevity experts who are looking at that very thing. And we know that people who have a lower body mass index, then that means lighter weight, do tend, at least on the life tables, do live longer. Mm-hmm. But there's another parallel body of data suggesting that an even healthier way would be to have lower weight, but also more muscle mass. And that there's a great contribution of muscle mass to health in general from a metabolic standpoint, glucose, cholesterol, and this brings the exercise back into play that if you really want the whole package, again, you've got to push some iron. There's just no doubt about that.
Well, and, going into that too, and just, longevity, and we're talking about weight, I'm sure that bone health comes into play too, as we get older. And, I've always heard, I've gotten yelled at forever, you need to drink more milk or you're going to have weak bones. I got yelled at all the time as a kid for not having enough calcium and all that, fun stuff. But as we get older, this is more serious. And, when it comes to this, how is bone health and why is it such a key part of the aging process and really just aging well?
That's a great question. First of all, as far as these weight loss drugs, we do have the data showing that if you don't do something about it, you come out of that being osteoporotic.
Wow.
It's a lot harder to prevent bone loss than it is to build new bone for adults. It's different for children and teenagers. But for adults, particularly later in life, when things are slowing down and the metabolism's slowing down, the estrogen levels are lower, the testosterone levels are lower, the activity level is lower, the bones get weaker. And osteoporotic fractures, they're different. They're not like falling off your bicycle and wearing a cast for 6 weeks. These are life-altering injuries that send you to the operating room and require procedures on your spine or your hip. There's a certain mortality rate associated with that. And a lot of people are left either with chronic pain, chronic deformity, or chronic inability to do what they used to do. They can be permanently damaged. And this is preventable in part. You do the bone density when it's appropriate, you identify the process, and you treat it. Now, you mentioned calcium. Calcium and vitamin D are necessary for healthy bones, but low bone density is not usually a nutritional problem.
Wow.
Something else is happening in the body. It could be age, it could be menopause, but the bones often need the addition of a medication to use the calcium and vitamin D.
Wow.
Here's my analogy. If I'm building a brick wall, I can deliver the bricks and the mortar, but when I come the next day, nothing's happened. Oh, gee, I forgot to pay the bricklayer. All right. This is the same way with your bones. You need the calcium and your vitamin D, but you got to do something to activate the osteocytes or the bone cells that build the bone.
Mm-hmm.
And that it can be as simple as estrogen and testosterone, but oftentimes it requires additional medications. And this is another area that needs work, because I've seen people who have been crippled by their osteoporotic fractures, and it's sad because they lived in a time where there wasn't an opportunity for us to do something about it before it happens.
Well, and can you tell when you're starting to lose bone as you get older? Are there any signs of it?
Silent, and that's the problem with these things.
What? Really? There's no
Really
sort of...
motivated by pain,
Yeah.
right? Pain's a strong motivator. But if I tell you your blood pressure's up, your glucose is up, your LDL cholesterol's up, you have osteoporosis, yeah, I feel fine, doc. What are you talking about,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So that's the problem, is you got to sit down with people and explain this is real. Other people have experienced the complications. We would like to help you prevent that. And we have treatments available, which can be lifestyle, diet, exercise, and oftentimes adding some medication is necessary. Take advantage of the technology. Now we're getting back to healthy living.
Yep.
And that oftentimes translates into longevity, which is where we started.
And now you guys have a DEXA bone density scanning device at your office, correct?
We do. It's not an X-ray. It uses something called dual photon absorptometry, but it does measure bone density. We also use it in some of our patients who want to. We can do the Cadillac body fat analysis. It's the best one on the planet.
Wow. Well, and now, how does that help with early detection and prevention? When it comes to bone loss, are you guys able to detect that if something's able to show early signs of it in someone?
Well, there are standards for interpretation of the test, and those standards will tell you where you lie compared to the ideal 30-year-old skeleton. And we also compare you to your own age group. But ideally, we want people to have the bone density of a 30-year-old. That's the target, just like I mentioned targets earlier, say for blood pressure. And we try to manage people in that direction. There's a variety of treatments out there. Again, they're covered. And generally, these are covered well. Sometimes we have to struggle choosing the right one to dovetail with the insurance benefit. Mm-hmm. But generally, they do well. And then we do serial bone density measurements at appropriate intervals to confirm the efficacy of the treatment, because this is a silent disease totally. The only thing you're going to experience is when your bone breaks. We're trying to prevent that.
Well, Jim's telling us that we're talking too long, Dr. Green, but I don't mind that because this is really just a great conversation. But going into this too, and I think that this goes back and it ties everything together, because if someone does have, the bone loss or, osteoporosis, and, maybe and still they have a weight issue or there's still a little bit of a problem, I'm sure that magnifies things. Before we move on to the last topic, am I on to something here too, where you can kind of have a catch-all of some of the things going on?
Well, again, we get back again to weight-bearing exercise. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, and going into heart health, because you talked about this earlier, and being the leading cause of death, earlier. How is it? Why is heart health so closely connected to longevity? And it sounds like a simple question when I read it, but it's a little bit more interesting than that, because there's so many more components of our body. But why is it so intertwined? Why is it so connected to just, our longevity in that term that we broke down earlier?
Well, the cardiovascular system is an elastic system. And just like other things that are elastic in the world that we're familiar with, elastic systems run out. Okay. And the more they're used, the more they're stressed, the faster they go. And so blood pressure control helps to take the stress off, and cholesterol control helps to keep the lining of the arteries healthy. And what you're looking at, though, is the endpoints: stroke and stroke disability, heart attack, heart failure, heart disability, and the deaths associated with those two streams, either the cardiovascular or the cerebrovascular death, stroke and heart attack. They're the leaders. And I'm pretty sure cancer is number 2, which could be a topic for another day if you want. But anyway, that's why. And we're living really longer than we were designed to. If you went back to the caveman, I think the average length of life was about 30 years. And so we're way past what a wild human was expected to. And that's one of the reasons that, frankly, we're artificially managing our health to obtain better function and longer life.
It's really fascinating. And, when we talk about lifestyle changes, the common ones to me are, working out, exercise. You talked about this earlier, and that's not just walking the dog or, and making sure, you're getting some steps in. There's got to be, I'm sure, some effort when it comes to that and some real exercise and really getting in there. But also
So our guideline there is 150 minutes a week.
Wow.
60% of that should be resistance exercise, which means, either weights or machines or body weight calisthenics or bands or something like that. The other 40% should be aerobic exercise, which should be fast walking or jogging or biking or rowing or swimming or something like that. And it can be 2 75-minute sessions a week, or it could be 5 30-minute sessions a week. But that's the current recommendation. And I think if we talk to the average person on the street, how many of them are going to tell you that they're getting there?
I don't know. I would say two out of 10.
We got a ways to go, but that's the current prescription from the experts.
Well, and a quick question, and I'm sure you get this quite a bit, and or your therapy department does as well, or physical therapy is, when someone maybe is getting older in life, but they still need to get that exercise in. Is that when you just find an exercise that's maybe more conforming to their joint health and their overall mobility issues, like instead of going for the walk or the run, you go and get on the rowing machine?
You absolutely are right onto something there. Some of our patients, regardless of age, but often with age, have some disabilities that impair their ability to do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to do is have them set up with one of our physical therapists here at APG and let them do a tailored assessment of their weaknesses and strengths and help them design a personalized exercise program for what they can do. Because everybody can't do what a healthy 25-year-old can do. Yeah. And you're right on. Sometimes it has to be tailored, but I would use an expert to have them do that.
Well, and I think it just brings everything back in, all together with, just looking at that whole person and like you just said, from a tailored approach, instead of just, throwing that blanket sheet over it. And as we wrap up here, why does longevity require looking at that whole person instead of just that stage of here's where we're at now? And I know, again, kind of a little bit of a lighter one, but still one that has a lot of different ways we can go with it.
Well, I think if we wait till the last minute, we really missed the boat. You can't recover a few things that might have been lost if you waited too long. And I guess the analogy I would use, when do you start talking to your financial planner? When you're 25 or when you're 75?
Right.
Absolutely. So, and I think this is where maybe we need to change the model of how we deliver medical care. So we sit down with a 25-year-old and say, you need to start investing in your health with certain lifestyle modifications, the same way that you're taking money out of your paycheck every week for your 401k.
Absolutely. And, how does enhanced wellness care allow you to focus on more prevention and long-term health? Just to kind of bring this all the way around, we touched on this a couple of times, but really just to drive it home, it just seems to me that you're really able to really walk side by side in a way with your patients in a way that, has really not been able to happen for quite a long time in medical care.
Honestly, I think it's a time factor.
Yeah.
And like I said, what we do with our enhanced wellness patients is all the visits are twice as long as a standard visit, and it allows us to have a conversation just like you and I just had.
Yeah. Well, and now, who is enhanced wellness care a good fit for as we come to a close today, just to circle back to that first conversation?
Well, okay, so the age groups again. I think for the 25-year-old, in terms of consultation, we want to set the stage. We should check their blood pressure. We should know what their baseline cholesterol is. And I'll sidebar quickly. There's a new factor called lipoprotein little a, which we've known about for a long time, that does not respond to traditional lipid therapy, doesn't respond to diet and exercise.
Wow.
It's inherited, and a treatment's going to come out this next year for that.
No way. Wow, that's huge.
That'll be relevant for a 25-year-old, okay? We can talk about lifestyle modification in terms of cancer prevention, which some of it's dietary, some of it's tobacco, some of it is sun exposure. What type of sunscreen should you be using today? There's a variety on the shelf. When should you be using? How do you apply them? I mean, we get down into those details with some of the patients.
Wow.
Because skin cancer, everybody's got skin cancer now if they live long enough. But that's because we all used to go outside and run around, mow the yard with our shirt off, and the girls were putting Crisco on their skin and crazy stuff like that. So,
well, Dr. Green, it's always great talking to you. It's been a great conversation today, and really just appreciate this. And for more information from all of our audience, we'll do a write-up on RiverBender.com to learn more about that enhanced wellness program and really just how it can benefit us. Dr. Green, have a great Christmas and a great New Year as we talk again in January.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you. Enjoyed this.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break. Dr. Green, have a great rest of your day, and we'll come back with more Daily Show with all of you guys after this quick one, RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of freedom, there's never been a better time to show your pride. The Flag Keeper provides everything you need to display your flag with honor, from American state and U.S. Armed Service flags to flagpoles, accessories, and installation kits for homes and businesses across the Riverbend area. Call 618-467-0020 or visit theflagkeeper.com for your free estimate today.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit AltonElite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Welcome back, Daily Show. 9:57. We're going to wrap up the 10 o'clock hour and then start our legal spotlight segment with Keith Short and Associates. Before we go into the segment, let's just talk about the office, you know? I mean, let's brag about you guys a little bit here. I mean, it is Christmas, and Festivus is tomorrow, so I can...
I've got my poll up already. So.
Estella's going to do feats of strength. But you know, you guys were just named Best of the Best, and, you know, a different media thing and all of that, but it's really cool to see you guys recognized because you do great work, and going above and beyond. You have a great staff, and I'm sure to have them recognized is a really great way to kind of end the year.
It is. They're, you know, it was funny. I mentioned to my son last night that I'm doing these advertising things now to try to grow my firm, and he asked me why. You know, the firm's doing incredibly well. Why would you bother? And I said, well, you know, the thing is, I'm 60. I'll practice for maybe 10 more years, but it's important to me because this group of people is the best group I've ever had in my career. And it's important to me that we develop a strong enough practice that when I decide to walk away, it'll just keep going. And I'm telling you, the great results we get start with them. Yeah. And so when they were picked as the best law firm in Madison County, or however it's arranged, I don't know. When they were picked, it didn't shock me, frankly. And if you work at that firm, every single person at that firm right now, I am perfectly content with. I would work with the rest of my career because they're that good.
Well, and it seems like, you know, and really get the idea of it now more so just talking to the last couple of months is that it's not really work for you guys because you're really just living a mission and you're a team. And that's where I think it's so fascinating with, especially your industry.
Yeah, I have to tell you something that literally just happened like 10 minutes before I got here. My partner Holly came and told me she's got a case where for a work comp claim, it is a phenomenal amount of money they're willing to pay her and our client. It would probably be the second largest, what we call a lump sum, one big pile for our client at one time that we've ever had. And we've handled thousands of cases. And she said no. She said, no, we're not going to take it. Not that we wanted necessarily more money for our client, although we would be nice. They weren't going to leave the medical open. And Holly understood, look, my client, it doesn't benefit us at all. Our client has to have this left open. His own health insurance will fight it. He still needs care. No.
Absolutely.
And so then she calls me right before I walk out the door. They went up another 75, I think 75,000 is what she said, more dollars. And she said, no. She said, what part of this are you not understanding? Yeah. And so people don't get, like, Holly understands it doesn't matter to us. You know, we do incredibly well in so many departments. Her job is to look out for this person, not in a pile of money now, but next year and the year after. So that's, and one other thing I want to mention before we go on to what you want to talk about is, you know, we're thinking about offering once a month, like 6 slots of 20 or 30 minutes where people can come to my office, sit down with me, and ask me anything.
Wow.
About the law. Like, I helped you one time.
Yeah,
you had an issue. And didn't
No, I've talked about it. You helped my dad without it. Seriously, thank you.
Didn't benefit me at all. But the point is, the lawyer I help you find, you would never have found on your own.
Never.
Right?
Never.
And she did a fantastic job helping you guys out and didn't bill you to death.
No.
So the thing is if we do this this sort of pro bono service where you can come sit down with me for about 20, 30 minutes, there'll be areas that people will ask me about that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And so the deal would be that, hey, give me a little bit of headway so that I can just do a little bit of research and I can help steer you to a lawyer who can really help you. I get nothing for this, absolutely nothing. And some of the lawyers I might send you to, I have zero relationship with at all. But I know their reputation. I know they're very good. I know they take care of people. So it's part of, like, with this whole Christmas thing, it's kind of like that Miracle on 34th Street movie line, you know, where they didn't have the product there, so Santa sent them somewhere else. And people thought, well, why are you doing this? Well, we're just doing it because it's the right thing to do. It won't benefit us.
Yeah.
So if you were to come to me and say, hey, I'm having a problem with my neighbor, it's a property dispute, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
It's not what we do. But let me help you find somebody who will not bill you to death and will take good care of you. And then hopefully you'll remember that. And then someday you'll say, you'll pay that back. And, hey, I know a guy you can trust. Call him.
Well, and how many times do you hear, I'm sure maybe you don't, well, I hear it all the time because I get the nasty voicemails, but it's, you know, it's all about who you know-ism thing, you know, or the small town, you know, gimmick. And yes, and to a lot of things, I agree with that. But, you know, now to open your doors and say, you know, I'm here for anyone. That's going to be really cool to do. And before we move on, because I want to talk about that as we wrap up this segment today, I think that'd be a good bookend. 12 days of giveaways you guys did. How was that? Because that's really cool that your team did this.
It was actually, it was really funny. What I told the staff was we had the greatest year we've ever had. So we did the Thanksgiving thing where we gave away all the turkeys and the full meals, and Sam and Rosa and the whole team just did such a fantastic job putting that together, and I just paid for it. I mean, physically did nothing. I'm not going to take any credit. The staff did everything. And then, so one day I said, we need to keep this going. And so I said, why don't we do our own 12 Days of Christmas? Well, all I did was give the idea. And then they flew with it. And actually, I came up with this way of we could announce it to people. And it was apparently a dumb idea because the ladies just ignored me. and they redid it all, which worked so much better. So it has just been fantastic because what we decided to do was let's not only help some folks who might need some help with certain items for Christmas, but let's also help a bunch of our local businesses that are independent businesses. Yeah. So we tried to avoid any chains. Like, for instance, just Saturday I had lunch with a friend of mine at Brownback. Fantastic restaurant, right? So we went there. And we went to a bunch of other Bakers and Hale, which I tried past twice a day. And I thought, this can just help our community, not necessarily the big chains and everything else.
Really cool. We're going to come back. It's 10:04 for our top of the hour break, and then we're going to come back with our true legal education segment. I just wanted to spotlight all the great things at the office real quick. We're in Christmas mode, as you can see, and we're going to come back with all you need to know about really just how a lawsuit works. Yeah, that Santa's been through it all, I'm telling you what.
It looks okay.
Yeah, more next. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, man. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
$10:07. Welcome back. Top of the hour with Keith Short and Associates. And as we really get into the nuts and bolts of this segment today and wrapping up the conversations really for the year, Sydney's going to join us at 10:40 to wrap up the live shows. But, this is a great segment because we talk a lot about different types of cases that you're on and your expertise. But to break down the lawsuit and really just how it works, I think is a fascinating one in its own. Because, I just had this the other day. There's always I don't know if you go through this, but there's always that one person we know that's going to sue the hell out of everybody, you know. Even if it's the most minor inconvenience, you know, they're taking them down. But I couldn't tell you really how it begins.
Yeah. No, and that stuff's kind of a myth because no lawyer takes those cases because they always end up being pro se because let's be honest, in the end, for most of it's just a business.
Yeah.
And they're not going to make any money on it, so you can threaten to sue all day long, unless you handle it yourself, you're going nowhere.
Yeah.
So to tell you how almost every lawsuit goes, doesn't matter what it is, if you retain an attorney, you either end up paying a retainer to that attorney, you're paying them by the hour, or in my case, the kind of work that we do, with the exception of the wills that Holly does, everything's contingent. We have to win. Like I said, we're intellectual gamblers. We gamble on ourselves and our skill level. But what happens is you come in to see me and you tell me your story. You sit down with me, you sit down with the staff, and we take a bunch of information from you. We have a long talk with you at that time about how the law works. And then we tell you the steps. Like, for instance, people don't know, at some point you're going to have to give a deposition, which means you'll sit in my office or any attorney's office. And a lawyer for the insurance company will ask you 3 hours max of questions. They don't typically last so long. But let me give you an example. I have a lot of people come in, they're terrified of depositions, and I've done over 6,000.
I could see it being intimidating.
Yeah, but this is what I tell them. They will not be rude to you. That's sort of a myth. There are some guys who are like that, but I'm there with you, and it won't happen for very long.
Right.
But normally they're not rude to you on either side. The defense lawyers really just want to know what happened.
Yeah.
And so they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. A lot of it you're going to think aren't relevant, like where did you grow up? What's it got to do with my car accident? They'll ask you about your family members in the county, and that's really not to pry, but if we pick a jury, they want to know if they're going to be on the list.
Gotcha.
But there are areas where they're going to try to see if they can get you, but what they're really doing is they're trying to get to see how believable you are and how the jury's going to assess you.
Yep.
So I'm there with you, but so what I tell people is this. I can count on one hand the number of depositions that were ugly, and I've done over 6,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and the reality is this. 5 minutes into it, you're going to be terrified. 5 or 10 minutes in it, you're going to think, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah.
It's really nothing. And they just want to ask you some questions. I'm there. We already prepared you for the whole thing. And then I'm doing the same thing to the defendants.
Do you ever have, and this is, I'm sure, just like a weird outlier, but is there ever times where you know of the other attorney that's going to be giving the deposition, and it's not that they're deceitful or they're trying to be deceptive, but the way they ask their questions, you have to kind of let your clients know, hey, you know, they might not play gotcha, but they might ask you in a way a gotcha question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you do this long enough, you know everyone.
Okay, yeah.
It becomes very incestuous. We all know each other. We're all dealing with each other, the same groups all the time. And so I used to be notoriously short-tempered. Hard to imagine if you know me, but I used to be. And so a lot of, and I've really worked on that with a lot of counseling and other things. But my job is to protect the people who I'm sitting next to, and I'm going to do that. So, but 99% of these guys are really decent people, men and women. But there are people who have certain methods of asking questions that are going to get you boxed in. And I know it. Yeah. I've seen it happen over and over. I'll give you an example. They'll say to you, CJ, at the time of the accident, how fast are you going? You're going to say 35. And they're going to say, how do you know that? I was looking at the speedometer. So you weren't looking at the road at that moment, right? Yep. So I already know to tell you to say I was going approximately this speed, which is true because we rarely stare at the speedometer. And I ask my clients, are you going the speed of the traffic that's with you? Yeah. Okay. Then that's what you say. Yeah. You say what's true, but you don't say, and they love numbers. They love numbers. I was 40 feet away because the moment they have a number, they can start doing the math and braking times and things like that, so you weren't paying attention. And I tell them, look, I don't care what they say, don't give them a number. Just don't. Yeah. They ask you 74 times, don't give them a number. Because you don't know the exact number, and they're going to try to say that's an exact number, and they're going to use that math and try to make you look like you're lying. So, yeah, that stuff happens.
That's interesting. Well, yeah. So, from right off the bat, before we even get to a deposition, let's say that we're ready to file a lawsuit or we're just, something happens. We can pick any instance to go through. Let's just say car accident for the sake of it and going from there. They pick up the phone and they call you. They meet with you first. How long does it take for your office to gather data, to gather details, decide if you're going to do this or not? What's that layover time look like for the person on the other end of the phone?
Well, we know.
Okay.
We know within the first hour if we're going to take the case or not.
Interesting.
And we probably know, truthfully, within the first 15 minutes. And a lot of it has to do with the read of the person. Do we believe them? Most folks come in with a lot of information, because what happens is when we call, we tell you, bring this stuff with you.
Yeah.
We give you a list. And then the question we always get is this. We get asked the same questions all the time. Well, do you think this is going to go to trial? And I always tell people, well, statistically about 95% of these cases don't. But you should assume that it will, and we prepare every case as though it will. And that, if it doesn't, great, wonderful. But we get asked that, and we get asked in a case. This is a question that really does actually personally bother me. We get asked at the beginning, well, what's it worth? I don't know.
Is that a bad question? I feel like that's a bad question to ask, because it's not really saying. To me, it's a greedy question.
Yeah, it's a greedy question, and it's a question that if they really were thinking about this, there's no way I can answer it, because I don't know I only know your version of the reality that happened. I don't know what your medical records say. I don't know what, for instance, let's say that you're in a horrible accident and your medical bills are $50,000, and the person who hit you has $25,000 of insurance. Guess what your case is worth? $25,000. Probably, and that's it.
Well, and now, to me, too, as a consumer, if I'm going on and someone gives me a dollar amount in the first 10 minutes of a consultation or however long it is, that's an immediate red flag to me, because everything needs some investigation, especially when we're talking about this.
Yeah, the one area of law that I do that doesn't apply to is medical malpractice.
Yep, we were just talking about that.
Because it's got to be, in my mind, theoretically at least, a significant amount of money, or I just can't invest that much of my client, or my time, my money, my employees' time in it. So that's the one. I always tell people, look, it's got to be worth a lot, or you wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. I
wouldn't let you be here. I wouldn't set up the appointment.
Well, and now, so after that, you decide on taking the case. How quickly do you start filing paperwork? Do you have to get all this data from us first? How long is that timeline? Because I'm sure, like we talked about before, we aren't done in 2 weeks. It's going to take some time. But just in the build-up, how long does it take just to get everything filed and really starting to roll?
Okay, in a work comp claim, if you met us on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock, it would be filed by 2 o'clock.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, because we don't need a lot of data to do that. A car accident case, as long as I have the police report and I know the basics, a day or two. We don't waste any time. There are a lot of law firms that will try to negotiate a settlement, but what happens is they kill 6 months, don't get it done, then they have to file a suit. Now you're 6 months behind.
Yep.
Medical malpractice is the standout, because what we have to do is gather all the records, and then we have to get those to an expert, and we have to have an expert certify the case. We can't go forward. So we tell clients it takes us 60 to 90 days just to get the records. It's going to take us another 45 to 60 days to get a report back, and then another week or so to draft it. So you're looking at no fewer than 4 to 6 months before we can file that suit. Sometimes it's a little quicker. Problem is, you come in, you only have a 2-year statute of limitations, and you come in with 2 months to go.
Oh no.
Then I got a bind. So
a big one.
You have a bigger bind.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, and so after that, you file paperwork and all. What's the next step? Is that when we go to deposition mode?
What happens before that is you get a bunch of written discoveries.
Okay.
They send you a series of questions. It's very complicated, and the staff has been trained to help you answer those questions. So what happens is, CJ, you have Erica or Taryn send you a bunch of these questions. Some of them you don't understand. They help you. They explain what the question is. You two formulate your answer. Then it comes to the lawyer. The lawyer can say, well, the way this is worded creates a problem for us, and it may not actually reflect the reality of what happened, or frankly, just the verbiage isn't very good. We never change the truth. We just make sure that it is worded in a way that will not be a landmine for you. And then while we're answering that stuff, they're doing the same thing. They'll also send you what's called requests for production, and they want to know, like if you claim lost wages, you got to produce wage records. You got to produce photographs that you have of the car accident scene. You've got to produce all kinds of information.
I wanted to ask you about that, because this is where I always would find it so tough, especially for maybe a sole proprietor or someone who is, maybe a contractor that's his business, and does that get interesting if, maybe there's cash jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's where I would find this to be really troublesome.
What's really troublesome is when you haven't paid your taxes on it. And now you're under oath.
Oh, no.
And you're acknowledging that I've made all this money that I haven't paid taxes on. So I tell my clients all the time, look, unless it's a massive amount of money, don't bother with it. You're just getting yourself in some trouble. Now, I also tell them you need to go back to paying taxes.
That's a good note. That's a good editor's note, Keith.
And I do that. We actually tell them that. We put that in writing, saying, because we have an ethical obligation look, you have an obligation to pay your taxes properly.
Yeah.
Go see an accountant. And people think they're going to go to jail. I'm 5 years behind. No, the IRS just wants their money.
Yeah, as long as you file, you're not going to jail.
Yeah, and even then, because you can't pay if you're going to jail, so they'll work out a deal with you. The IRS will, and there's an example of our pro bono stuff. I know really good tax attorneys and really good. I'd send you over to my friend Mark. I'd send you over to some other people, Bob Brady, who are great lawyers who do that kind of work, and they can guide you through it and take care of you. And it means nothing to me. Yeah. But I don't want you getting in a bind.
It makes sense. So after discovery, deposition time, I'm guessing, and then after that, is that when you decide, is this trial worthy, or is that?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry, maybe I'm off on the
wrong. It's got to be trial.
It's trial this time. Okay.
From day one, and what happens is people don't realize is that we have to go to the court and get a trial date really far out, and then we backdate all this stuff. So we have to have the discovery done by this date, the depositions done by this date, and the experts done by that date, so that when the trial comes, we're ready to go.
Gotcha.
What happens though, the last step after all the experts and all that has been done, is most cases go to mediation. And the mediations, I always tell people, I actually went to, I went through the entire Harvard mediation training program and Northwestern's. I did them both.
Wow.
And was certified at both. And it still hasn't helped me be any better at it, frankly, because mediation is like divorce. It's nobody's happy. They're paying more money than they want, the defendants are. We're probably taking less than we want. But there's a real value to getting on with your life. Yeah. So what I do, because frankly I'm somewhat impatient and mediation isn't the best thing for me as an individual, I recognize that weakness. So I'll have Holly come with me, or I'll have Andrew come with me, because they're patient. And they'll say, when I'm ready to get up and leave, and say, screw you, we're going to trial. They're like, let's just sit down for a little while. And so, we're really successful in mediations. But if the mediation doesn't work, it doesn't mean it's over, because I've had mediations fail on a Monday and we get it resolved a week later. Yeah. And if it doesn't resolve, it goes to trial, and we try more cases than almost anybody. And you're going to be in good hands.
Just incredible. And so now, obviously, if you're here in this situation, you're here, you have to go to trial, or you're going to go through with this. Do you hope for a settlement, mostly like other lawyers, or do you care what it is, just depending on what's better for your client?
Well, that's a complicated question. Your ego wants to try it and win.
I'm sure, yeah.
Your fear wants to settle it. But your professional obligation is to weigh all those factors and tell your client what's right. Like Holly did this morning. Yeah. And you have to do, sometimes the easiest thing in the world is this. I have a case that I think is worth $3 million, and they've offered us $150,000. I look at my client and say, no. Just tell them no.
Yeah.
What's difficult is when they put $1 million on the table. Now you're like, oh boy, this is hard to. Yeah. I have a great friend who had a $25 million offer, and he said no.
Oh. Ow.
Yeah. And it came in at $34 million.
Oh wow!
It was the right call, and he talked to me. The first thing we talked about wasn't winning $34 million. It was how terrified he was that he made the wrong decision.
Well, I'm sure, because that could have flip-flopped the other way.
Sure could have, yeah. And you have to let your client know. You have to weigh it all out. You have to look at if you're good, you spend a lot of money picking mock juries. We do it all the time. I actually just hired a young person named Abigail, and Abigail, one of her jobs is going to be, in addition to IT and some other stuff, is we need to do mock juries. We're going to do these in-house. And her job is going to be, I'll teach her how to set it all up, and we'll bring in dozens and dozens of people, and we'll do it at a neutral site. And, then it's a gamble.
Well, and see, that's where I find this really fascinating on the side standpoint of the firm, too, because a lot of problems really go back to, I think, if you're an inexperienced attorney, on the flip side of this, picking bad clients or taking bad cases, because, the reaction in reality at the end of the day is if you go to trial, there's a chance you lose.
Yeah.
And do you have, you have conversations where you go, hey, there's not a good chance, but there is an instance or circumstance where this could happen.
Mm-hmm.
What does that conversation look like if reality does happen in a bad way and your side, the side is against you? What does that conversation look like with you and that client afterwards? If, let's say,
we don't prevail?
Yeah, if it doesn't come through.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I had a client turn down what we call a high-low of 1.5 to 4.5 million. And she wouldn't listen to my advice, and we recorded the conversation, and she knew that. And then we had her talk to the judge, and she knew that. And
Wow.
And I said, please, I think this is a mistake. And to her credit, she's a wonderful person. The next day, she sent me a very long email apologizing for not listening to me. But I will not lie. I've had cases where I had one where there was $400,000 on the table. We won $2 million, and we got $250,000. So we lost $150,000. Yeah. And my client was okay with it because he was fully informed of, look, this is. But here's what I say to people.
Gotcha.
I say, CJ, look, if I have $500,000 on the table and we might lose, I'm going to say to you, there's 500,000 tax-free dollars sitting here. Then you're going to flip a coin to see if you might get 6. I said, that's greed.
Yeah,
talking.
That is.
Yeah, my job is not to get you everything. My job is to take care of you. My job is, that's when I have to look at you and say, now you're going to see the ugly side of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna talk to you like a serious adult and say, my job is to tell you you're making a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
Because you could change your whole life with this amount of money, and you want to flip a coin because you somehow think you should get another $150,000. I always tell the clients this: the last person that matters in terms of what do you think the case is worth is the client.
Yeah.
It's just like the defendant. You don't let the defendant decide this. It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
true.
what the defendant thinks. It matters what the 12 jurors or the judge thinks. It doesn't really matter much what I think. The only difference is I played this game for 33 years.
Before I let you go, is it hard to take the emotion out of a case?
For me, it's almost impossible.
Okay, that's because to me, it's one of those things where it's it's business. It's A to B to C, but there's this overlying and right over your head, this cloud of people's lives were affected.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the worst part. That's where I always say our work comp for me is more emotionally difficult than a $1 million medical malpractice.
I could see that.
And the reason is this: the med mal case, because grandma's dead. Grandma's dead. And I'll get the money, and it might change the way medicine is handled in the future for this group of people. It might change a lot of things, but it won't change your life fundamentally other than enrich you. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
But on a really strong med mal case or a big car accident case, you are now injured. You don't have an income coming in. You've got a house payment to make. You're worried about your future, and you've got children. And Holly has a lot more stress sometimes than I do on those calls, even though the case is worth 1/10 of what I do. Because if she loses, which almost never happens, if she loses, that person's in a bind. They got a bunch of bills, they have no income or limited income, and they're hurt. And that's why I tell people, I will say that sometimes I'm a little more jovial than she is, but she's like a shark, man. And she's not going to lose. I think she went 23 for 25 this year, or in the last 3 or 4 years. And one of those, the client changed her testimony. She told me later. She said, I just looked at her like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, I would. That's whenever you got to take a breather.
So our emotions come into play a lot. Yeah, they do. But we have to control it.
Well, Keith, it's been great talking with you, though. Thanks. And honestly, just every segment's been really fascinating. And, thanks for your time today. I wish you nothing but the best this Christmas. And have a great New Year. We'll talk again soon.
Okay, sounds good.
10:26. I'm taking a break. We're going to wrap up everything in an article on RiverBender.com for Keith. Sydney Sinks joins us next to wrap up this live show.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of freedom, there's never been a better time to show your pride. The Flag Keeper provides everything you need to display your flag with honor, from American state and U.S. Armed Service flags to flagpoles, accessories, and installation kits for homes and businesses across the Riverbend area. Call 618-467-0020 or visit theflagkeeper.com for your free estimate today.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit AltonElite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Welcome back. We did. Sorry, I was focused.
No, you were in it, and we transitioned right away into this. We didn't
normally
usually,
there's a bridge.
Yeah, you threw me off.
Bridge.
I was
What the
unprepared.
hell? Well,
Hello.
I have gotten away from the bridge.
Yeah, have you? No more showing the bridge?
No, my intro is 15 seconds, so I have no time to sit down and collect my thoughts.
Very fair. You got to pull it together really quickly and come and show
yeah,
off.
I'm really hoping next year we start doing like automated top of the hour newscasts, so I can just kind of play the news, and then right after the news we play my intro.
That'd be interesting.
I yammer for a bit.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need to do is just jab a bit and just hang out,
Left, right, duck weave.
There we go.
Try to make it to my car.
Hope for the best. It's all fine. Yeah, Merry Christmas. That's a good one.
So, this is my last live show of the year.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, in a way, I'm going to still do 2 live interviews.
So, no, it's not the last live show.
Well,
You're
it
busy.
technically is. Because we're going to talk with Grafton on the 26th.
That'll be fun.
30th, I'm talking to Corey at Rivers and Routes.
Oh, wow, you're busy. I look forward to that
No,
one.
I'm not.
Eagle Ice Fest. No, really, you're just chilling.
busy.
Good for you. I'll be here. If anyone, I say it again, if anyone has a story or a heartwarming thing they want to get out there.
2 things.
Yeah, let's
I
hear
want to
it.
say real quick, Sydney,
CJ.
You being here kind of makes me look like a bad employee. So we need you to quit quit
no,
overshowing us
don't
here.
worry about it.
Number one. No, and what I'm going to do is just because, I don't know if you saw, did you see this weather map that's coming in?
Oh, it's coming, yeah.
Yeah, did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
what is it? Let's hear it.
It's okay. So Jackie does the same thing. I'm like, do you see this? Yeah. I'm like, oh. Start talking about it. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, you kind of called me out. I was ready to just kind of guide and go with you, and then you're like, did you? And it's like, I can't actually lie.
I'm an easily distracted talk show host.
There we go.
I can call these things out pretty quick.
What's coming? What's coming our way?
Potential of ice and snow next week. So,
I thought it was going to be 70 degrees.
What's
the truth?
It is.
What's the truth?
It is. I got the truth. Here's the truth, Sydney. It will be 70 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
That's weird. That's just not correct.
Yeah. No, it's not. We're going to break a 100-year-old record on Christmas Day of heat.
Not correct.
Then the following week, there is a potential from the 28th through January 6th of Arctic conditions of snow, ice.
That
sleet.
sounds more accurate, but I'm not looking forward to sleet and ice. Yeah, true.
Ying or whatever, and we're getting the yang.
You're very right. Yeah,
so,
it's the full experience. The full spectrum of Midwestern weather is coming in the next 2 weeks.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to the boss man today because, with all the weather and all that, it would be nice if, we don't have to worry about getting the little one into the car and
just trying to get it all figured out.
In all seriousness, I just need to kind of get the show organized for January,
True,
to break the fourth wall down and kind of just get it all squared away. And figure out where our life is heading into, wedding season.
You're busy. You have a busy year upcoming.
A busy first of the year. And
hopefully a good thing. That'd be good.
Oh, it will be. But then by June, I'm hoping to slow it all down and call it a day.
Cheers to that, yeah. Take a busy first half of the year and then just glide
we
through the
flipped
rest of the
it.
year.
Actually, I didn't because it was a nightmare because it was the election year.
Well,
so
true,
it was literally go until the year was over with a lot of changes.
Yeah, you've had a busy year.
I went from being a common barfly.
You did. Let's reflect.
A very popular one, by the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the most famous.
I'm happy for you. Most famous in Alton.
In Alton's history book now, I believe there will be a chapter.
As there should be.
Not on the good that I did.
on your appearances around town, it'll be CJ's experience.
No, it'll say it. It'll say chapter 19 or whatever the hell. And it'll say Nasello retires from drinking.
There we go.
And it'll have all
the story we wrote in the engagement announcement. It said
but that
also
happened this year.
Subtitle. Yeah, Nasello retires. That's wild. Congratulations.
Okay. I don't think
again.
I'm worth a subtitle, but
it's okay.
No,
congrats again though, because that's a really exciting year.
It has been a busy year. So anyway, this next couple of weeks, I'm really hoping. It's the way the damn year's ending. What is up with this? Christmas and New Year's on a Thursday.
Yeah, I don't like that because we should have Friday off. It does.
No, I mean honestly, I will bet you I will bet you any amount of money.
Yeah, let's hear it.
The ratio of people working to not working until January 5th is going to be staggering.
Literally. And here's the thing. I say again, if you have especially a heartfelt story that you want to get out there, I would love a heartfelt story. It's Christmas time. So give me some good human interest, touch the heart kind of stories. But
they have to be real. There has to be.
Please don't make one up. But if there's something wonderful happening in your life, Sydney at RiverBender.com is the email. So
could you imagine if someone just started sending all these AI generated
puppy loves whale, and it's like, okay, I can only do so much. Yeah.
So did you get all your shopping done?
Yeah, for the most part, I think I'm done.
For the most part.
I think I have one more thing I need to buy, and then a couple more things I need to wrap. So I'm kind of cutting it to the limit here, but we're getting there. What about you? Are you
cutting
done?
it to the limit or taking it to the limit?
Taking it to the limit? I don't
you
know.
have
cutting
to.
It short?
I just feel like if you're going to do that, you got to say take it to the limit to be like the Eagles. And you could be like, one more time.
You're calling me out, though, for my stumbling over words.
Did you hear me on the show at 9 a.m.? That's always a damn...
Are you done, or are you still shopping, or what's your situation?
Yeah, so we thought we were.
Uh-huh.
We're done, for ourselves. We didn't...
Right.
I don't think we did anything crazy. It was seriously all within budget and reason.
Good, that's awesome. Yeah, that's half of the battle, low key.
Well, you know what's funny is just the Facebook post I saw the other day that said 99% of America's on Klarna for Christmas.
Yeah,
and it's true.
Yeah,
but it really wasn't where I'm like, oh shoot,
You're right.
type of thing.
Reasonable. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
so.
Good.
there's that.
That's a big plus because Christmas is hard.
Do you do this thing where you wrap and then you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I forgot, this and this.
Yes, you
and
wrap
it's always
and-
after you're done wrapping.
Well, and it's also you wrap and you're like, oh, this doesn't look as much as I thought it was. You know what I mean?
oh,
Like
yeah.
I thought I got a lot.
Yeah.
And also everything's more expensive. So I spent within reason, but then it's like, oh, this doesn't actually look like a lot. I'm worried about that as well.
Well, did I tell you what happened at the mall on Friday?
What happened?
This is great. I'm walking around and all of a sudden, there's 8 Alton police officers.
Oh no!
And I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, damn, who did I piss off in pities? Well, no, they were looking for somebody.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I didn't really ask. I'm minding my own business.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, I hate to tell you this, to anyone walking. If you're getting chased down the street,
Yeah.
I am not going to be a hero.
Literally.
I am not.
I'm looking away.
And I
I'll
hate
be
to tell
honest
people
with
this.
you.
Do you know why? Because if we're a hero in
Yeah.
most states, we're going to jail
That's
for being a
true,
hero.
too, yeah. I don't
there's
need
always I'm not trying to get my whole life upended.
I don't need that. No, thank
Find
you.
a police officer, call 911. Unless it's a serious, dire emergency
Yeah,
and
then
someone's
I'll
chasing you
step
with a
in.
knife. I might trip the guy, but I am not going to step in scenarios.
It's good to have boundaries.
Well,
that's
it's going to be
self-care.
realistic. How many times do these people? Oh, but if I was in there, I would have.
for
I
real.
bet you would have, pal.
That drives me crazy.
Oh,
real
Jesus.
quick. That drives me crazy when people are like, "Oh, I would have done X, Y, Z." You don't know what you
No,
would
you
have
wouldn't
done.
have. I've seen you in
don't
circumstances.
know. Yeah.
Shut up.
Don't call me out for not handling it the way you would have. You would know.
So I was at Firehouse one
Okay,
night,
so
and
anyway,
it doesn't. No, this goes right
Yeah.
into it. I'm sitting there. It's 3 in the morning. Or no, it's 1:30 because I had worked
Okay.
a late night shift at KTR. This is years ago. And, I'm sitting there having a Coors Light, and boom, this guy's getting beat up by 6 other people.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I did? I drank my damn beer.
That's alarming. That's
Do you know
scary.
why? I'm not getting in the middle
You don't
of
want to
that.
get beat up by
I
6
didn't do
people.
nothing. I'm just
Yeah.
going to sit here. It sucks.
That
And they were
raises
already,
some questions.
The cops were already called before someone goes, man, CJ didn't help nobody. No, it was already, the most that could have been done in that situation was done.
Yeah,
the
that's
police
fair.
were there.
Unless
They
you want to
stepped
get
up.
involved,
Yeah,
which
no,
you don't. Yeah.
No. I've seen the news lately. I'm good.
Real.
You know,
That's so real.
And I just think there's a reality component of it
That's
where we
so
aren't
real.
cowboys.
Let's
You
just
know?
be honest with one another. I'm not saving any lives.
I'm not John Wick.
No.
You know?
I know this about myself. I'm not saving any lives. If anything, I'm making it worse for both of us.
If there's a fire or something, that's
Yeah.
a different thing. But
Sure.
just because, I just saw we were talking with the firearms instructors.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's very important to get the laws in the state kind of
Yeah,
down because
true.
you don't want to go to jail thinking you're going to be some hero.
I don't want to even think about it. It makes me so nervous to
I don't
even
even know
think
how we
about
started talking about
No, you're so right, though. You're so right. Have you ever, not to get,
this is
dark
the only
or
time
deep.
I ever get told I'm right. But
No, you're doing great. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great.
Thank you very
But
much.
No, on a side note, skipping over what I was going to say, because I was like, actually, that might be too sad. But skipping over that, Merry Christmas. I took this dog that I was dog sitting over the weekend to see the Christmas lights at Rock Springs Park. Highly recommend. Have you taken Nico the dog to go see Christmas lights?
No.
Well, you should do that. That is fun. They freak out. The dogs do.
Are they the same color?
The dogs?
For the dogs?
Wait.
What the hell?
Probably.
Oh,
it's probably really confusing for him.
Yeah, they're
actually.
why
yeah.
are there all these different shades of gray
Yeah.
flash?
What's flashing around me? Yeah.
Did you see the Santa Claus, the big one that had the hand up? The painted one?
No. Oh, I didn't. I missed out. Wow. I'm sorry.
I'm going to start throwing items. That
That's
was my
fair.
Santa Claus in my house. I told multiple people.
You did actually. That's
your.
your Santa Claus. That's cool. No,
terrible.
I'm so sorry.
I have not had a temper tantrum like that in a while.
Well, I'm sorry to have to witness it. It's kind of intense, but
Hey,
no.
you want to see something funny before
Yes,
we
I
take a
do.
break? We're going to come back and talk with Sydney. We'll ramble on and all that. It's just time to have fun. It was
Yeah.
blog talk. You didn't get a blog yet because it's Monday.
Okay,
and
for
I
the
put you
record,
on
I actually do have a blog. It's online, so
We'll talk about it when we
Yeah,
come back.
It's a good time.
But I just wanted to throw something out here. So, this is the new pod SEO ranking. So I'm doing really well, as you see.
Shout out.
This is me, and this is an entire St. Louis radio station.
Wow.
Tied, and then here's our
Our local competitors.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, good for you.
Life's looking good for us.
Things are going good.
Yeah. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Hi, this is Linda Andreas, your Madison County Clerk and Recorder, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Clerk's office and from the Recorder's office.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation. Welcome back. Daily Show. 10:45 is the time. Back with Sydney. What'd you write about?
Nothing too interesting.
Oh.
I'll be real with you. We can just chat. But I wrote about.
Whoa!
I don't know if it's actually published yet. I'll be honest. It might just be in like pending right now. But I wrote about taking the dog to see the Christmas lights, which was very good.
Okay.
And 2, I had a little Christmas party over the weekend, which was very fun.
What was the party?
It was just a couple friends that just came over and we watched the
Friendsmas?
Santa Claus. Friendsmas, yes, you get it. Absolutely correct. You got it. You got it. So we watched the Santa Claus and we ate pizza and sipped wine and just chilled.
I forgot. Hold on, just hang out there for a sec. I forgot to plug my phone in.
Oh no. Okay, I'll fill the air. This is on me to keep it interesting.
For 30 seconds.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for no
phone's
one.
Been dinging left and right. I'm telling you what.
You're popular. Even
Shoot,
on the
not in
day
a good
before
way.
Christmas, or a couple days before Christmas,
my
I would think it
God.
would quiet down a
Oh
little
man,
bit.
it's just the quiet before the proverbial storm.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
it is a busy couple of days.
There's a
there,
lot
but-
happening that's a brewing, and I think everyone's just kind of hanging out until the holidays over.
I want to take a poll. How many people are like busy these couple of days, and who's like chilling at home? Like,
I truly believe that 90% of us are not working.
Yeah, and like shout out.
Well, it's just the way it breaks down.
Yeah.
I mean, let's really look at. I mean, you got one day I mean, Christmas Eve, I truly believe should be a federal holiday.
I would agree.
I just don't and that's what, honestly, the president gave them both days off this year because they have the choice.
Oh,
like,
really?
They could normally pick the 26th or the 25th.
Interesting, yeah.
Or you can just stay with the 25th. Like, a lot of them just said, no, go back to work. And they gave them the 24th, the 25th, the 26th through the 29th.
That's interesting. That sounds nice, those couple of days.
Nice, a nice breather.
Yeah.
But so, like, to me, though, I mean, you're going to have the 23rd's the last working day of this week.
Yeah,
there is
low-key.
no way anyone's working the 26th.
Well,
you might show up to the. You're going to show up. Yeah.
I took off on the 26th.
You did? Okay.
I'll be honest with you. But I was going to be here the 24th for the half day, so I'll be here in the morning if anybody has anything they want to last minute get out there. But Sydney at RiverBender.com, email me. But, I think a lot of people are just chilling this week, which is chill, like, vibe, hang out. But that being said, I'm here. Send me a story.
my point is, too, Sydney, next week, 2 working days.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no way that anyone's working on New Year's Eve. They're going to show up to clock in. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Maybe not.
Like, we got to define what work means. Okay.
That's fair, yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I have 4 sales pending I'm about ready to pull my damn hair out on.
Really? Is
oh
that
my
where
God!
It's going?
I have been they started in last week in November.
Oh no!
And it was like everyone just started winding down.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of the office until December 8th. Sounds nice. I took my break in July. You
had at least you had a nice little break. I did too.
Don't rub it in. I ruined it. I ruined it for myself. I took it early.
No.
I should have waited. I should have just ate the hours.
Yeah, that would have been nice to have the end of year couple of weeks off. I always think it's interesting, like the people who travel home for the holidays and like stay home for a couple of weeks, or like The Family Stone is my favorite Christmas movie. Really quick shout out to 2005, but it's a really good movie. But they spend like the full week at like the family house is like the part of the plot, and I'm like, that's so fun. Like, how do we do that? That sounds awesome.
I have never seen this movie.
It's very cute. I think it's cute, but that's just me.
I thought it was a middle finger, but it's a ring finger.
It's a stone. It's the ring. Yeah.
For anyone interested, an uptight businesswoman accompanies her boyfriend. I have seen this to an eccentric and outgoing family's annual Christmas celebration.
Yeah, it's right up my alley.
And finds that she's a fish out of water in their free-spirited way of life. You can find out more on Disney Plus and Hulu.
I love me a rom-com. I'll be honest with you. A rom-com is so good.
There's nothing better than, I think, an Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Like, everyone's like Jennifer Aniston. I just think she's kind of a jerk.
You think so?
That's
interesting.
She drips and reeks of insincerity.
Ooh, that was quite the insult.
Like, you look at somebody and you're like, yeah, I wouldn't want to have a drink with you.
That is quite the insult. That would be interesting. That's a fair point. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I had to choose a celebrity to have a drink with, that's probably not for me. I got a question for you. If you could see anybody live, like a musician or a band, Elvis?
Yep.
Interesting.
But it has to be drugged up Elvis. I don't want to see young Elvis. That's fair. That's kind of like,
it's kind of, I don't know. Young Elvis kind of had the vibe.
Yeah, but it's not for me. Like,
okay,
I like the funkier, grittier, sweaty, fat Elvis that's just living his best life. I mean, that's talent. That
is
be on that
impressive.
many pills and still hit the notes is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But no, I would do that one. Or
that's fair.
Honestly, Jimi Hendrix. I would want to go.
That would be
or
cool.
Honestly, not really. I think Stevie Ray Vaughan. Now that I truly think about it, I would see Stevie Ray Vaughan over Jimi Hendrix.
That'd be good. That's hard to narrow down, low key.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, like, because if you really want to go back, like, what would be fun would be like a Patsy Cline.
Ooh,
like that would be.
That's a throwback. Yeah.
What about you? What would you see?
Elliott Smith, probably.
Who is that?
Sad acoustic guitar music. Love that. Okay. Big fan of that. I'd see him. Nirvana with Kurt Cobain.
Oh yeah,
that'd be pretty.
Cool.
That'd be pretty sick. Yeah. I don't know. That's just a side note. I just think that's just my side note for the day. Those would be interesting. But yeah, back to the rom-com thing. Big fan of the rom-coms.
Yeah, I just don't like Jennifer Aniston.
That's how this all came back around to Jennifer Aniston and having a drink with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I just wouldn't.
I like Friends though. Like I think Friends is really. She's like she's
I'm
not
one of
my
the people
favorite
that can't stand Friends.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh
man, not a friend.
Well, I mean, like it's cool. I respect its place in television history.
Fair. Okay, that's fair.
But Okay, I think it's overrated.
You're not.
It's a bunch of bums that can't get off their butt. Now they're just kind of simping life together.
You're not incorrect. There is that joke where they're like, yeah, I think my boss hates me. And someone says, well, you're here at this coffee shop at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Yeah.
You're a bum.
Yeah, that sounds ideal world.
It is, but I would take Seinfeld over Friends.
And you're not wrong for that. I would argue Seinfeld also is like a little overrated.
Oh, totally, yes. It is so overrated. I didn't say it was
not
good.
Bad.
I wouldn't say it was good. Because to me, there's good moments of Seinfeld.
That's true.
Festivus is great, but for every Festivus, there's 9,000 duds.
You're
kind of like
right.
Jerry Seinfeld's stand-up, which is also awful.
It's really not that good.
I don't know how he ever became famous.
No, not to be mean, but I always feel bad like harshing on somebody because I'm like,
I'll be honest.
Do it.
He became the most successful television star in history. There is nobody, because they ruined television too with their syndication deals. Let's be honest, but made tons of money.
Yeah.
But anytime I've seen him, okay, it's
He's
really
not that
funny. Yeah, it's like listening to me give some soft dad jokes and maybe talk about things that are really on my mind in a passive aggressive way.
Very passive aggressive.
Followed by a chuckle.
Yes, that is a very passive aggressive comedian right there. No, you're absolutely right. Well, no, for Christmas this year, Dad, stop watching if you're watching. I got them tickets to go see a stand-up comedian, and I'm so excited to do that. I've never seen stand-up comedy before.
Do you know? Is it a well-known stand-up?
It's John Mulaney.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I'm excited.
He's good.
I think he's really funny.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited for that. But
wow, good for you.
Yeah, so hopefully they stopped watching because it is a surprise. But no, I'm excited for that. But I've never seen stand-up comedy before. I've never been to as a kid
Did I tell
a
you
club.
my Joe Rogan experience?
No, let's hear it.
Okay, so Joe Rogan, terrible stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
I could see that. Yeah.
I just don't think he's funny. Now, there's certain stories he tells that are funny.
Mm-hmm.
He is a great host or whatever. I don't want anyone to go, oh, look at this little dweeb that's over here talking about Joe Rogan. I'm not saying it like that. I just don't think he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Diaz compared to Joe Rogan is not even close. You don't even know who Joey Diaz is.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
you
letting
gotta.
you down.
He did a show called The Church of What's Happening Now.
Okay, I'll look it up.
800 episodes. Now he has a new podcast. He
Good
was
for
the
him.
fat guy in Spider-Man 2 that was on the train that stood up for Spider-Man.
Oh, that's a throwback. I actually do know what you mean.
He
Yeah.
was the fat guy in The Longest Yard, the remake.
Yeah, okay.
He had
Okay.
the shirt.
I'll check it out. Okay, yeah,
anyway.
I'll look him up.
But so I was at wrestling school in Texas, and one of my teammates got tickets to Rogan, and he put him on his Instagram, and within 30 seconds, the guy saw him, bought him $60 for front table, the front table,
Wow.
bottle service, the whole damn lot, and we got him all that. It was good. Tony Hinchcliffe was there. His set was okay, but it was really kind of just didn't make sense.
Okay. I could see that.
Just
not quite.
It was kind of pre-Kill Tony being there, so it was kind of figuring it out. There was another comedian though that was hilarious. I forgot her name, but she was worth every bit of it.
That's too bad that you forgot her name.
Well, the problem was they had a shot bar right next to the stand-up place. So I did 6 or 7 liquid cocaines before the show.
Oh my gosh.
It's Rumplemans and tequila mixed together.
I've never heard of that.
I didn't until then, and I sweat now thinking about them.
Yeah, no, that killed some brain cells probably.
Yeah.
It would kill me a little bit.
Well, so Rogan comes out and they put your phone away because he's taping this special or whatever.
That's
but it's really because they don't want to get canceled. That's what it
fair.
is. Right when he comes out, this woman flashes him.
Oh my.
That was the whole 9 yards.
That's intense. Did she get to stay or did she get thrown out?
No, he just went,
Wow.
I'm
sorry, really quick. Can you imagine you do that and then you don't get any reaction. You don't even get thrown out. I would at least want to be thrown out. But you don't get thrown out.
No, he literally on the microphone went, okay. But his set was okay, but he got bored with his own set.
Oh, that's the worst.
Even he knew he was done. I remember because I was starting to feel really, really good at this time.
Sure.
And he was like, guys, I'm out of material. So anyone got any questions type of thing? And I asked him, what's the most elevated he had been with Joey Diaz, and he said that he had taken a snack and he thought that he was seen in 4 dimensions and 3 dimensions on an airplane.
Oh, that sounds horrifying.
And that was to me and to the crowd the biggest reaction line he got all night. To this day,
you set him up Rogan, and he nailed it home.
I think Rogan should thank me.
Yeah, you helped him out. That was
sweet.
That was a beautiful moment for you guys. But no,
that was my stand-up comedy.
That was pretty good. That sounds like a pretty iconic experience, all things considered. Yeah. That's
I wish I remembered more of these.
I've never done stand-up. I'll be curious to see what it's like. I've seen like open mic stand-up, where like people are like in between playing guitar, someone gets up and tells a few jokes, and you're kind of like...
So we had a show, Ray had a show in St. Louis, and on Fridays we do comedy. And, it was always a lot of times the people that were playing the funny bone. So we had some...
that'd be funny.
Well, we had some really good acts and then some duds. And by duds, I mean they weren't funny. They were so drugged up or drunk that it was like, oh my God, we got like 20 minutes with this clown.
That does, unfortunately.
But then it would be like we'd have moments of gold where like we would sit there and just strike it while the iron's hot. And I know that every person that listened to AM radio is like, is this real? Like, whoa, I was not expecting it. But that'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know. We got everybody's gifts, and we have...
Quick math. Quick counting.
4. We have 4. But they're all decided for. It's not like we got to still look or ship them.
That's good. You just got to grab them. Yeah,
so
that's
not
good.
that big of a deal.
Similarly, my one gift I still have to get, I like know what and where. I just have to like go there is the problem.
Is it a long drive? Or?
It's not even. It's like not that difficult. I just need to get it. What about you? Is you have like a lot? Or
no,
like
it's just there's one item at different places. And, honestly, Jackie kicked ass this year because I got all the shopping I needed done. She took care of her. Like we kind of just tackled and went as together. Sure. And it helped, but I saw these freaking presents, Sydney, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Like, I hate wrapping.
Are you bad at it? Like I know you know
I'm bad, but I just don't want to do it.
That's fair.
Like
it's
it's great to do as a kid, but if I'm giving an adult a gift, it's going in a bag. Okay.
That's fair.
Like we don't have time.
So valid.
Unless it's like a toy. If I'm giving you a set of Rock'em Sock'em robots to bring you back to
then
your
that's
youth,
fine.
Whatever.
Are you? Question now. Are you giving anybody like some like antique toy like throwback vibes?
I'm still looking for that.
Interesting.
But that'll be a next
Funky
year thing.
Planet.
I've looked for 7 years for this certain toy. And
do we get the reveal?
Yeah, I'm looking for a 1971-ish Smash 'Em Up Derby set.
Oh, that'd be cool for you.
No, it's for my dad. I don't know if he's watching right now. He probably is, but
tune out.
Tune out. It's because my whole goal is I think it'd be really cool if I would be able. There's a story behind it.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like adorable. I hope you're able to make this happen one of these days.
Excuse me. I hope so as well.
I believe in you.
But Christmas really came together well. And honestly, like before we sign off today, they did a really good job with our Christmas party. John and Kathy did.
It was a lot
and the
of
whole
fun.
Team. Like,
yeah.
It was really good. And, I'm just saying, I felt like I'm a little
perturbed. I think so. I think that's where we're going.
Little angry. I don't have a medal from our victory.
Look, okay.
We had a team. It was guys versus girls. Riverbender guys, Riverbender girls. Mm-hmm. Smoked them.
Let's not get too cocky. You only smoked us because we decided last minute to go all in because we're cool and we're like we can go all in. We're like and it didn't pay off, but we're still like cool enough to commit. It
was marred with controversy. The win was.
Yeah,
I mean we had some points taken away from you guys after some protesting. We changed the question board a couple of times on you.
Yeah, I think it's not our fault. You got like NFL draft picks. Like, okay,
but
good for you.
I don't know. I didn't know that I knew that much about fish.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute. There was a whole section about fish, and CJ out here dominating, so that's confusing for all of us, but congrats.
David Attenborough, man. I used to watch those documentaries every day, him and the Crocodile Hunter, so I must
That's a good one. That's fair. You took it in. Good for you.
Oh, man. What's the rest of your week look like? Work, Christmas?
Work and Christmas. I guess all of a sudden, I can't believe it's Christmas all of a sudden. It's like the end of December. So that's wild. So that's what I'm doing these next couple of days.
Are you going to be at your parents' house on Christmas? Do you guys do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Yeah, we'll do a couple of things, go see everybody, so that'll be really nice. So I'm excited to hear that, check in with some people, and holidays, they can be weird. It can be bittersweet. This winter's kind of bittersweet for me, but that being said,
same.
I'm here and I'm excited to be around people. It's like a good reminder that like I'm loved and I also love others.
Yeah, well,
so, it's
wonderful. And that's a great point. The other point is you can choose how you feel too.
Yeah,
how
true.
you're going to approach it.
I chose this Christmas that I was going to be holly jolly. Do you remember I told you that? So here we are, holly jolly.
Ho,
it's going to
ho.
be it's It's going to be a good Christmas. I'm excited. Merry Christmas to all. There we go.
We are going to say goodbye for now. I will see you back here in January live. We have some great content coming your way. A lot of great stuff this last year. We'll replay it for you all in the next couple of weeks. January the 5th is going to be here before we know it. You guys have a great, safe rest of your holiday. Merry Christmas to all of you. And, conversations. One live one on the 26th at 9:20. One live one on the 30th at 9:20. We're going to be talking to Grafton, great rivers and routes, all that fun stuff. See you. Have a great rest of your Christmas week. It's starting off strong. Be merry. Be happy. You have a choice. Try your best to stay out of jail.